Hello, it's Sherry Truhlar with Red Apple Auctions, and today I'm going to give you some tips on if you're trying to get celebrities to come to your event, maybe bring some star power into that auction. There's two types, aren't there? There's kind of the Hollywood glamour, those big-time celebrities, and then there's these television celebrities. The television celebrities are actually, I've had more interaction with them than I have the big Hollywood glamour. I've got one client who is able, at some of their events, they have like a multi-day event, and they're able to bring in some very powerful people on the Hollywood circuit. But I haven't had as much work with them, experience with them, but I have with the television types. And even some of this through my own Red Apple Auctions business. You know, Isaac Mizrahi, a fashion designer, had his own show on eStyle for a while, got to go up to New York and work with him, and Take Home Handyman, Andrew Dan Jumbo down here on eStyle, had a nice show. Worked a lot with Clinton Kelly, kind of in a Forrest Gumpish sort of way, through my part-time job with modeling, and he was going around with Macy's and doing a lot of different runway shows for them, and I worked with him and other models, probably 6 times, something like that, over the course of a year and a half. The quickest way that you're going to be able to get these people to participate is if you have a connection. I'll give you another example here in a bit, but of how you can reach out. But friends are going to be your best bet. And when these people come, they can do 2 things. They can, first, if you know and you can get them to commit to coming in advance, and many of them won't let you do that, but if you can, that can help draw people to your event. They'll buy tickets. They'll be like, ooh, I really want to see that person, and they'll come. The second way that they can help your cause is that they might donate directly to the auction and thereby raise money very directly for you. For instance, this past fall, one of my clients knew I think it was a one-hit wonder show. It was the DC Housewives, Washington DC Housewives, or Housewives of DC, something like that. I don't watch TV, so I'm a little out of the loop on some of this. But Housewives of DC, and Stacy was one of the wives there. And so she came to this benefit auction, and I think it was through her connection that she brought in another gentleman by the name of Paul Wharton, yes. And he is like a designer, no, not a designer, he's like a stylist and a hairdresser, and he made a very nice donation to the auction that night. Was going to take some of the girls in this particular nonprofit in a day in the lifestyle, if you will. They were going to be picked up in a limo and get their hair done and so forth, just like Paul has done every morning, is what he said. So you're going to have the benefit of that if they make a donation in that sort of way. If that's not an option, if you have no friends, then consider this to probably be a lengthy process, because you're going to have to reach out to these people. You've got to get it on their schedule. They've got to agree to it. Then you get it on their schedule. So what you want to do first, because you can't shoot letters and emails off everywhere. So you've got to think about, these people and why they would be interested in helping you. For instance, maybe you're based in the same hometown that they are, and it's not a big hometown. Maybe they're from the same, maybe they identify closely with their hometown and would want to go back and help a nonprofit. Maybe they grew up with a family member who had Down syndrome, for instance, and was active in Special Olympics, so maybe there's a connection. Or maybe they had a sister who passed from breast cancer, and there's a connection for you. What are their personal health issues? So if they are personally afflicted with something, they will be more likely, one would think, to support a nonprofit that's helping to beat that disease or find medicine for that disease. Or do they have any special interests that align with your cause? Maybe you've been watching them for a while and you've caught that they are attending the sorts of things that your organization puts on. Maybe it's an environmentally aware sort of group, and you've noticed that they've attended some environmental or made some statements about the environment. So that could be a way, an in for you from the standpoint of reaching out to them and sharing your story with them and asking them to commit to helping you in some form or fashion. Just wanted to give a couple of examples here. In 2009 we had 2 megastars really die within a short period of time. We had Farrah Fawcett pass and then Michael Jackson. So Farrah Fawcett herself was a survivor of domestic violence. No big surprise that she got involved with the National Domestic Violence Hotline, right? Then she was diagnosed with cancer in the 1980s. What does she start doing? She starts getting involved with Cancer Council. She becomes the chairperson of the Women Against Cancer. She even let them do a story. They did a documentary called Farrah's Story about her life. That's an example of that personal connection. She was afflicted, and therefore she gave back in ways where she'd been afflicted. Another, Michael Jackson, huge with children's charities, right? It's kind of known that he didn't perceive his childhood as being that wonderful. Here, Child Help USA, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, YMCA, and a litany of just a string of different nonprofits, many of them children related, that he helped because that was his personal experience. So before you start blasting out those emails and letters, again, drill down, figure out what the connection is with each one of these people in your cause. That's who you're going to want to really target because you'll have greater success. If you're looking for other benefit auction tips, you can head to the website at redappleauctions.com and get our free item guide. It's the top 100 items that are selling in auctions today. I'm Sherry with Red Apple Auctions. Thank you for watching. Good luck to you in your benefit auction.